Hello. Hi everyone, it is Kim Duramo and I wanted to share this really powerful recalibration series. I've had this happen to me so many times, but I had a friend this morning who was just really in it. All the densities coming up, feeling so contracted. She's super intelligent, energy sensitive, like doing a lot of powerful work with other clients who are very empathic as well. And I could just feel her energy like so contracted, and how difficult it is to be in this sort of like ascension in consciousness that we're in. We're all growing more into living from unity consciousness, living from knowing we are one, we are connected, living from love and harmony, and less living from the false idea that we're separate, that we are lacking, that we are disconnected, that we have to fight and fend for ourselves and white knuckle it through life. So we're really transitioning in this consciousness, and on an individual level it can get really glitchy. So I had I've been in the same position so many times, and I had such an awareness of like how much she knows and understands, like this is all happening for my benefit, this is densities coming up to be cleared out, I'm changing, I'm growing. But then at the same time, all the protective self was up, all the fear was up, all the nervous system triggered into fight or flight was up. And it's like we can't access that knowing and that understanding, or like we understand it but it doesn't matter because the system's like and we're in that contraction. And so one of the things I shared a few things, because the breath of life, which I did a video on the other day, it's in my YouTube, is so powerful for me. And I do that every single day. It takes just maybe 2 minutes. It's a recalibration. And what we're doing is we're recalibrating our energy centers. Your energy centers, your chakras, hold information. They hold like being 5 years old and being in a threatening situation, or being in middle school and being shamed. And your system's like, I'm never gonna share myself again, and we close down, and we close down our heart, we close down our energy, and that gets locked in the system. It gets programmed. And until we open, we stay in that same arrangement, and we're like really limited into how much power we have, how much we can manifest, how much health can move through the body. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a physician who's super passionate about that, allowing us to be energized, alive, healing disease, literally healing disease, and then opening to the true flow of life, of authentic expression, of abundant receiving, and living in that level of fluidity and abundance. So the thing I shared with her was that breath of life meditation, and I want to speak about this before I share the other thing that I'm making this video for. Our energy centers calibrate to the heart. So if we're hurt, if we're protected, if the heart is closed, they can't really get, it's like, if the flow is coming from here, flushing through our energy centers, they can't get cleared out. So we're carrying like our past hurts, our past ideas about stuff, our past identities, our past, well, I have to be this way, or I'm a mother and so therefore I can't do this, or just subconscious ideas we have about what's possible. And as you know, scientifically, what we believe is possible is what shows up in our lives as quote unquote reality. So we want to clear these out. And that breath of life meditation is really opening your count. You're breathing in for 7, you're opening your 7 energy centers, and then you're going into the heart to put in the frequency of, I love myself, I trust myself, I honor myself, I value myself. And you're putting that code, so to speak, that truth into the system, which is very life-giving. So that, definitely look at that video. It's a short video, but that's a really powerful calibration exercise. The other one is Donna Eden's daily energy routine. So I'm going to show you a couple basic ones from that I do. Let me balance my thing there. I hope that works. Yes. And then I'm going to link her video in the description. She's awesome. Donna Eden is really lovable, really authentic, really like quirky and kind of like corny, but like in a really cute, lovable, authentic way. Like she is so on board for just helping people and really showing up in her authentic self to like help people move their energy, because she can read energy as well. Okay, so some of the basic things, we're doing some tapping, right? So you're tapping on the under eye point, breathing in, breathing out. Just say, hi body, here we are. That's the first point. Okay, the second point is right underneath the collarbone. Same thing, breathing in, breathing out. Maybe you feel like crap. Maybe you're really empathic and you're like so contracted over like, what's happening in my life? Doesn't matter. The third point is the thymus, right here in the center on the sternum. So opening up your immune system, rebalancing your immune system, breathing in, breathing out. These are all really powerful points. I'm not going so much into them, but this is the K29 point that really rebalances the whole nervous system. If you've been in fight or flight, this point underneath the collarbone is really powerful. Okay, so thymus, I said, is for the immune system, and then right underneath your armpits, like kind of right on that nipple line on the sides, is for your spleen, clearing out, also strengthening the immune system, but it's really clearing out old energy. So you can rub this or you can tap it. It looks a little funny when you're like this, but hey, it's gonna help you feel so much better. Breathing in, breathing out, exhaling. So another thing she does is the crossover pull. So you're basically just aligning left and right body. So bring your hand over your shoulder, pull it down to the other side. Bring your hand over the shoulder. You just do like 2 or 3 of these, and you're bringing that integration of left and right hemispheres of the brain in harmony. Okay, the next one is the cross crawl. And I do these really often. So you just bring your opposite knee. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but you just do a few crossing over. If you're lying in bed and you can't really move, you can do this in bed. You know, you're just sitting in a chair or lying down. Bring one hand to the other knee and just slap your knees. So if you're standing up, it looks like this. I know we're kind of not in the best video spot to see that, but crossing over to the other side. Again, aligning right and left parts of the brain. There's a couple other postures she has in there, but I'm gonna finish this little quickie with the zip up. So you're basically zipping up your energy. Start with your pelvic bone, right down on your pubic symphysis here, and you just zip up, like you got a little zipper right up the front of your body, all the way up to your lip, and then you can kind of like seal it off. So you're pulling up, you do 2 or 3 times, especially if you're really, really open. Zip it up, throw away that energy. You're like, my energy is my energy. So you're letting your energy system know, nope, we don't have to be open to everything going on around us. You can zip up your energy system, bring your energy in. It's not the same as closure, where you're like, oh, I'm just protecting. It's more of a harmonic. You're in a harmony of, I own my energy, thank you very much. And you calm your energy system. So these are just a few that are in her video, but her daily energy routine is really powerful. I learned about it maybe like 12 years ago when I was transitioning between, you know, I was working as an osteopathic doctor, helping people with, and I was in the ER still at the time as an emergency medicine doctor. But in my practice, I remember I'd sit there and just feel so like, what am I doing with my life? I know I have something bigger to offer, but I'm not in a context that really has space for me to do that, or to that I even have my own clarity about like, what am I doing here? What are my gifts and talents? How can I organize a structure that lets that exchange happen? So I was more in this osteopathic practice, and it was like, fix my knee, fix my hip, fix my headaches. And it was great. Like, I prevented a ton of people from having to have surgery. I helped a lot of people with chronic pain, anxiety, but it was exhausting me. And I felt like they're getting like 10% of, or like 2% of what I actually have to bring forward in the world, which I didn't even have a name for. So I had some evolving to do. And I would sit there and feel so like miserable and contracted and like, Kim, you don't want to work in the ER, and now you don't want to do this thing, like nothing's working in my life. You do not have to figure out how any of this works. You literally can just harmonize your system, do the instant elevation, which I've created as well. There's YouTube videos I have about the instant elevation tool. That's the most powerful energy tool I've used. It's the foundation of all of my work. Do some of these other physical alignments like Donna Eden. Let your system recalibrate, because that's what lets higher intelligence comes in. That's what lets harmony come in. That's what lets your body heal itself, but also lets you be in that space of I'm being taken care of, my life is fluid, all is well, and letting the ascension happen. New ideas, new ways of being, new clarity of like, oh gosh, I could do my life like this. It doesn't have to be so hard. Things get so complex and convoluted, especially with health and healing and diet and whoa, I've got to do these 10 things, but it doesn't feel light, it doesn't feel fluid. That is not your path. When we do this recalibration, we really let our system align to the clarity of what is my path, and basically letting 99% of the upgrade and of the ascension happen for you. You're just making space to let your system, physical, mental, emotional, your DNA, your cellular, integrate this new consciousness. So for a lot of you guys listening, this is gonna make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, we're moving into an ascension. I'm moving into a different way of doing life, where instead of like, I have to do this and doing the things I hate, I'm more and more accessing, oh, this is how I can let it be easy. This is what my life could look like. Some of you, this will make sense. And then there's others who may watch this video and be like, what the heck is she talking about? What is ascension? Huh? And what is energy and chakras? And there'll be resistance. There'll be the mind saying like, oh, this girl doesn't know anything, and bumping things out. But what you may be clear on is, I'm not really thriving in my life. I'm not really in true joy. Maybe you're like, I'm getting by, but are you actually living in, like your total wealth, health, abundance, harmony, love? Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful and thankful for my life. I'm so grateful. I never realized life could be like this. So if you call that a 10, and what level are you on a scale of 1 to 10 in your life right now? And it's just awareness. It's not a judgment. It's just awareness to start to be like clear. Whoa, is that actually possible? Maybe there's doubts, maybe there's fears, maybe you're like bumping out what I'm saying. Either way you slice it, we are in a massive acceleration. Densities are moving out. Like for my friend this morning, there were old ways of like controlling, holding on to things. She's afraid, she's aware that her kids are going into this new school system, and like that might not be so great. Am I making the right decision? Is this the best place? But she's even more aware of like, wow, it's really spinning me out to try to control this. It's really making me anxious and tight and irritable to do it this way. And so then we get into the no man's land of like, well, how else could I do it? And you're never going to know how. You're only able to choose to open. When we choose to open, when we feel depressed, when we feel anxious, when we feel uncertain, when we feel totally spun out and contracted, that's when the new consciousness comes in. That's when new intelligence comes in. And then our system changes to one that can know, that does know. And then the how takes care of itself. You've got to let that energy integration happen first. But it's so hard. Like I appreciated it this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, we are really integrating so much, and it can get so glitchy in the system. So if you're feeling like that, use these energy tools. Use Donna Eden's daily energy routine. I love it. It's good for really anytime you feel like, just do it, right? Little recalibration. Hey, body. It's okay. Use the zip up. Use the tapping on some of the points, right? And you can talk to your body as well. Like, body, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't do the one she does. She does this one. She does this one. She does the thymus. She does the spleen. Those are the 4 power points. Try it out, right? Can't hurt. Maybe look a little silly, but that never really bothered me because I'm like so aware of like how bad I could be feeling and how much freer and more fluid and more aligned that I'll feel after. So that's where I'm at. So let your system recalibrate, like do some things that let you open. The intelligence, the divinity, the whatever you want to call it, the higher consciousness will then take care of all of it. Like, you're not in charge of healing yourself. You're not in charge of, manifesting your life. You're in charge of opening so that the higher you, the true self, can come in, and there's more space for that divine light of what you really are. All right, I love you guys so much. Share this video with those that you love who may be also struggling, or maybe they don't understand any of this energy stuff, but they're like suffering from a chronic disease, or anxiety, panic attack, phobias, OCD, depression, and they're ready for a new perspective, and they're ready for a new approach, which actually functions at that base level of what creates all that physical, mental, emotional disturbance to begin with. I'm at drkimd.com. Subscribe in YouTube. Hit the like button. This will help more people find the work we're doing here who are looking for this work. I'm live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time from Mind Body TV, so you can tune in live. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel for all of the past broadcasts that we've done. And there is a whole really powerful anxiety series this summer. If you've been experiencing anxiety, which is like, who hasn't? I had really severe anxiety when I was very young. So it was like 30 something years ago. And this was at a time when people didn't even have that word of like anxiety disorder or panic attack. Like, I had to look it up on my own, and I'd never heard of it before. Diagnosed myself. I was in college at the time. So, whoa, big awakening there of like, this is a thing. I thought I'm just possessed by the devil. I had no context for what was happening to me. I did reverse all of that. I haven't had panic attacks in many, many, many years. I'm not suffering from anxiety disorder. Like, there's a freedom. So in the programs I've created and the tools I've created, there's a way to let your nervous system recalibrate. You don't need to live in that old alignment. In fact, we have the mind-body solution for anxiety that is on offer on my website, if that speaks to you. It's at drkimd.com/anxiety. And there are very, very specific tools. Like, even if you just do one of the videos, you will feel it. You are recalibrating your nervous system. Your body is so resilient, and it has the ability to realign your brain, your nervous system, your adrenal glands, right? So instead of like living in that hyper speed, where of course you can't integrate new awareness, to let it open, to let it realign in a whole new way. If you've had depression, there's a whole set in there, mind body solution for depression, that's included with that program. We've had a lot of people expressing suicidality. We've had a lot of people on multiple medications who are recovered, who are resolved and off medications entirely. So there's so much that your body can do when there's a recalibration. Support it. You don't have to figure out the how, but the exercises in those programs are really easy. They will allow your system to integrate this new consciousness, and you're ready. So let it be easy. Tune into the work I'm doing. There's tons of free resources that I have, and like I mentioned, I'll be live every Wednesday. Try out Donna Eden's energy routine maybe once or twice, just to kind of like feel it out. If you're very energy sensitive, you probably already know about it, and you'll feel it right away. If you're not so much, start practicing it anyway, because it will entrain you to a deeper level of sensitivity and awareness. Like, for me, I'll feel the slightest little disturbance that maybe used to accelerate because I wasn't aware of it. It would accelerate into like a really bad mood, or being miserable, or having like a totally crappy day, or all kinds of like really big problems. And now it's like at the subtlest level, I can just allow that, notice that, and I have the tools to let it release and resolve at that core level, so I stay in harmony, and I'm living in harmony. We're in this beautiful vacation right now, and I've enjoyed my family like never, ever, ever before. It's been such a gift. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you soon.